My name is Giselle Cram, registered dietitian over at the Bariatric Weight Loss Center. And today I'm bringing you a series of tips to help you be healthier while working from home. The first tip is to establish a mealtime schedule. A mealtime schedule can help prevent overeating in between meals and also a behavior that's commonly known as grazing, where you eat small but very frequent amount of foods throughout the day. This type of behavior can lead to excessive consumption of calories at the end of the day. A mealtime schedule can also prevent you from going too many hours without eating, which causes a buildup of hunger. And then when you actually sit down to eat, you may have a very hard time controlling portion sizes because of the excessive hunger. So my recommendation to you would be to pull out your cell phone or some kind of timer and set up the specific times that you want to eat for your main meals, like breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and also set up a timer for snacks as well in between meals. This is going to help you control the total amount of calories that you consume at the end of the day. The next tip is to set up your workstation as far away from the kitchen as possible, or at least facing away from the kitchen. This is to reduce the visual trigger. If you're in the middle of your work and you take a glimpse at the refrigerator or the cabinets, you may feel tempted to look into what's the contents that are inside. So to prevent this visual trigger, I recommend that you set up your workstation facing away from the kitchen or in a room, the room that is farthest away from the kitchen. If you even have the possibility of setting up a workstation outside, taking in some fresh air, that might even be a more relaxing and enjoyable place to work. If you feel tempted to snack due to stress or boredom, go for a walk or do a quick stretching session or yoga session. Oftentimes we mistake hunger with an emotional feeling or a stressful feeling. So I recommend, if it's not the time to eat, if you look at your mealtime schedule that you've established and it's still not time for you to eat, then and you're feeling a little bit hungry or you have this desire to eat a particular food, I recommend that you try doing an activity or something that stimulates the brain other than work, of course, like going for a walk, doing the stretching session, or a yoga session. There are a lot of resources online on YouTube where you can just pull out your laptop and open up a YouTube channel, even our YouTube channel, NGMC Bariatrics, which is the Bariatric Weight Loss Center YouTube channel. We have a variety of videos in there of weightlifting classes and also yoga classes that you can do from the comfort of your home. Another tip is to plan meals that are low calorie, but they have a lot of volume. This type of meal will really give you that sense of fullness and satiety that you look for at a meal. When I mean low calorie, high volume, I mean a food that is more of a whole food rather than a processed food. So thinking about things like your fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean sources of protein, your healthy sources of fats such as olive oil, nuts, seeds, avocados. When you plan meals using ingredients that are as close as possible at their whole state, they will have a lot of volume, a lot of water, fiber that will help you feel more full, more satisfied at the end of your meal. Another tip is to keep water visible so that you can sip all throughout the day. A lot of my patients at the Bariatric Weight Loss Center say that when they are sipping water all throughout the day, they have a much easier time staying away from snacks and even avoiding things like cravings because their stomach pouch is now full with fluids, and it helps them keep their minds off of food. And of course, it keeps you hydrated, which is super duper important regardless of what you're doing. So sipping water throughout the day, or any 0-calorie beverage like a sugar-free flavoring, or some people nowadays are using the 0-calorie seltzer waters, or anything in that line that is 0-calorie would be good. Another really good tip is actually to watch the coffee intake. Having a cup of coffee or two is perfectly fine. But the reason I say this and I give this recommendation is because oftentimes coffee comes with a couple hundred calories in there, depending on how much sweetener or creamer or milk is added to your coffee. And then if you consume excessive amounts of coffee, not only may you be getting in more calories than your body needs, but also excessive consumption of caffeine has been shown to cause symptoms like anxiety and fatigue, which are symptoms we don't want to feel or experience when we're working from home. And last but not least, when it's time to eat, leave your work area and focus on your mealtime. Mealtime can be a really good time to sit outside, have some fresh air, listen to the birds, and just try to focus on your meal and also relax and de-stress from the work that you're doing at home. If we eat while we're working, we start eating what's called mindlessly. So we may not be paying attention to our fullness cues or our hunger cues, and it may lead to overeating. We may take too long to finish our meal, which is also not recommended. So I recommend that you go stop the work that you're doing, serve yourself the meal, and then sit down and focus on that particular meal. Take about 15 minutes to 30 minutes to eat your meal. It doesn't have to be a long time, but take that time for yourself to de-stress, to relax, and that way you can pay closer attention to your hunger and satiety cues and have a much easier time controlling your portions. Thank you, and hope these tips help you eat healthier when working from home. Bye-bye.